What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys have a fantastic day today. And today we have the best models of summer 2022 video for you guys. We really hope you guys are excited for today's video today. Another really exciting video in store with the Midwest Model Store. Super excited for this, and we hope you guys are as well. So I'm really excited for today's video. Like I said, today we're going to be taking a look at the best 1 to 400 scale models and some 1 to 200 for the summer of 2022. I am super excited for this. It's going to be really cool to dive into all these models and see what some of the best ones of the summer of 2022 were. So I'll hand it off to Ali from the Midwest Model Store. He is kind enough to join me for today's video, and we're going to be taking a look at all these releases. It's going to be a bunch of fun. So Ali, what do you have to say about this? Are you excited about this? What are you thinking about the best models for the summer of 2022?
Hey Connor, thanks for having me. I'm excited to rank these models with you here today. So just a little bit of a brief background. I mean, Connor went through the list of models that came out in summer of 2022, and we kind of picked our favorite ones, what we thought the best ones, the most popular ones out of this past summer were. So as you can see in the tabs over there in the screen, we picked out quite a few of them, and we're going to go through and talk a little bit more about the models that came out, what we like about them so much, and we're also going to go through and rank them and pick our top few of the summer 2022 models.
Yes, exactly. Fantastic intro. Like you said, we're going to be taking a look at some of the best models from companies like Gemini Jets, NG Models, Panda Models, etc. And we're also going to be doing just a broad overall score. So for every model, it'll be kind of fun since we'll probably have different scores. So both of us, we don't know what we're going to score these different models. So for instance, we'll show it on like the first one. My first one will be the KLM 777-300. We'll pull that up, talk about the model a little bit, talk about like what impact it can have on somebody's collection. And from there, we'll score the actual model out of 10 points. So it'll be a 1 through 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. And then we'll have different scores, of course, so we'll both rate it on our scales, and it'll be really fun to see what kind of scores we have towards the end. And from two different opinions, what were the best models overall, if you will, like a top 10 or something of the releases for this summer. So without any further delay, let's jump into our first one. So like I was referencing, sorry, let me get the tab working here. There we go. It is the 1 to 400 scale KLM Royal Dutch Airlines Boeing 777-300ER by NG Models. This is a fantastic model, and I really like the livery on this aircraft. I did personally get this aircraft, and I was super impressed with it. But ultimately, this is a fantastic model from NG Models. And if you're looking for any sort of KLM aircraft, this is a fantastic one to add to your collection, and I really like this. So, Ali, what do you think about this model?
I'd say this is one of my favorite ones to come out of this past summer. It's a beautiful livery, and NG really did a fantastic job with the printing quality on this. It's just absolutely fantastic. It sold super well and just super quickly. And I mean, people were just trying to get their hands on this so fast. And I can understand why. I mean, even from the pictures, you can tell how beautiful the model it is. And I mean, Connor, you can go through some of the other images NG has provided us.
Yes, that's what I was doing right here. Yes.
Yeah, you can tell it's just an unbelievable model. I mean, just the quality of the mold and the printing and just the realism, it just unbelievable. And they also did make a KLM Asia version of the 333 as well. As you can see here, there's the normal KLM on the left and the KLM Asia on the right. Just an absolutely fantastic model. If you're into European models, if you collect European models, I highly recommend this one.
Really nice aircraft, and personally, my rating for it will be an 8 out of 10. Ali, what are you thinking on this aircraft?
You know what? I'm going to go pretty high on this one. This is one of my favorites. I think I'll go 9.5 on this one.
9.5. I like that effort right there. Very nice. So that will be a 9.5 for Ali, and that is a great way to start our summer rankings for the summer of 2022. Very nice job right there.
Start. Very good model from
really nice one. I really like this one. Following that, we have the United Airlines Boeing 787-10 from NG Models as well. This is another fantastic aircraft. I know that they've done this one in the past, but it's always really nice to get another iteration. And I think this is truly a fantastic livery and ultimately just a really nice aircraft on a very nice mold. Really helpful for anybody trying to build up a collection of United planes or just in general, whatever the case may be. Another fantastic plane from NG Models, and I'm really pleased with this effort. Ali, what do you think about the United 7810?
You know what? It's not bad, but it's not the most exciting model to come out in the summer. And I like the Evo Blue livery. It's one of my favorites that really any airline is using right now. But it's very aircraft dependent, that in the sense that it works very well on certain aircraft types, but on others, it's just not the best. And this is very subjective, but for me, I don't think it looks the best on the 787-10.
Fair point.
For, the model itself, I think NG did a fair job on the model. I think it's a very realistic model, and the mold itself is fantastic. But just for me, I'm not a big fan of the look that the Evo Blue livery has on the 787-10.
Very true, but there are several people that do really like it, and for that reason, I'm going to give it 8 because I'm sure this aircraft's going to be pretty rare going into the future and a very valuable one at that. Ali, what are you thinking for the United 7010?
You know what? I think I'm going to go 6 on this one.
Okay, that's an all around. You love to see it. Hey, it's all good. They have done it before too. So there's two ways to look at it. And it is an overall subjective scale. So that's what makes this fun. So good stuff right there. And another very pleasing release from NG. Following that, we have a really good one of my favorites for sure, the American Airlines Airbus A321 in the Flagship Valor livery. This is such a nice aircraft. NG Models hit this one out of the park for a narrow body aircraft. It's truly stunning. You got all the traits right there. Just what a fantastic livery, such a great purpose. And this is a really, really nice plane from NG. I may be slightly biased since I actually got to fly it on the real life aircraft, but I still think that this is one that you really have to appreciate. And ultimately a fantastic aircraft to say the least. Ali, what are you thinking about this Flagship Valor?
You know, I really like this one. This is a really nice model, and I really like the livery, the special livery on it, and I love the meaning behind the cogs. You know, obviously support our troops. So just for that, I'm going to give it a pretty high rating. But and even if you, Connor, if you can go to the third image, if you see the details they put in, I mean, you can. It's just
courage.
So cool.
I can't see what that one is. I should know that off the top of my head.
I think that's
integrity.
the Iwo Jima one. Iwo Jima.
Integrity, excuse me, commitment, patriotism, and citizenship. Really, really cool.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
That's really awesome.
No, it's such a cool model. I think I'm going to go 8.5 on this one. This is a really neat one.
I personally gave it a 9. I already wrote that down, excuse me. So really good stuff right there. And that is a fantastic aircraft to say the least. Another fantastic job by NG Models. So you know what? Here's another one. This is the Alaska Airlines Boeing 737-700 with the winglets. This is another really cool aircraft. A very unique one at that, but ultimately a really nice aircraft. I like the livery on this one. And it is a really cute model, excuse me. Another really good aircraft. And I really like everything this aircraft has going for it. So, excuse me, guys. A really cool aircraft, and it's a nice plane, you know. Gemini did this one several years back, but it's really nice to have a nice mold version of this. And even these boxes look really cool, and I would probably give it a couple additional points just for that box, because that's a really cool box. So really cool effort there by NG. Ali, what are you thinking about this aircraft?
No, I like this one. I'm a big fan of the 737-700, and especially the NG mold for the 737-700. It's a really nice model. I think that the current Alaska livery really suits the 700 variant of the 737. And overall, it's just a really nice model. I think I'm going to go 7.5 on this one.
I personally gave it a 7. Really good rating right there, and another fantastic aircraft to say the least. Speaking of which, we have another Alaska aircraft on deck, I believe, and that's going to be our Lord of Love Airbus A321neo. Very excited to get this aircraft on deck as well. This is a really cool plane, and I like the livery a bunch. This is just a really cool one. I really like the Virgin America, so it is quite sad that they turned this livery into that pretty much. But nevertheless, it is still a really cool plane. I think it is a really good one overall, and this is a high demand model as well. So again, one of the coolest narrow body liveries you're going to see, and just a really cool plane overall. So Ali, what do you think about the Lord of Love 321neo from Alaska?
No, I think it's a really neat livery. NG did a fantastic job with the printing with it. I believe they delayed it a little bit from when it was initially supposed to arrive, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I can see why. I mean, I think they really took their time with the printing to get it right, and they really did. I think it's a really nice livery, a very unique livery. And this really is something that'll stick out in a model airport, especially with especially if you have a lot of Alaskas in the kind of standard livery. This will really stick out there, and just a really cool model overall. I think I'll go 8.5 on this one.
I gave it an 8 as well. We're pretty similar in those ballparks, but a really nice aircraft right there. Very pleased with that effort, and another fantastic aircraft to say the least. Next up, we have a really neat one. This is the Aerofire Boat 737-600, and this is a really cool aircraft, especially the tails on the tail fin. I think that is quite cool. But this is a really cool one from the Canadian region. I think this is a really cool aircraft. So very unique one. This is one of the first models that NG Models did on the Boeing 737-600. I just think the plane's really unique in general. There's not many of them made, and ultimately just a very neat aircraft. It's just a really cool one. And while it's a simple livery, I mean, just look at the box too. NG does a great job with their boxes. This is a fantastic plane. I think it's a really neat one to say the least. So Ali, what do you think about this Aeroflyer 737-600?
You know, I think this one was very underrated. I mean, when I first heard about it and saw the the computer-generated images of the model. I was not super stoked to see it, but especially now that that I've seen it in person, and that we have these beautiful images of the model, I think I've really come around to it, and I think it's a really cool model. I am a big fan of the 737-600. I think it's a really neat looking bird, and especially with the tail with all the planes on it. This is such a cool model, honestly. I think I'm going to go pretty high on this one. Probably go about a 9.
I personally gave it a 7, but I still think it's a very applicable aircraft and a really good one in general, to say the least. Nice job there from NG as well. Following that, we have a really popular one. This is the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 with the Scimitar winglets. Now, NG Models has done this aircraft several times, like the United 7810, but personally, this aircraft really never gets old. This is probably a little bit rarer than the 7810 for the reproduction. I think it's really helpful to see this aircraft. Again, a really nice one, and you really can't go wrong with the Southwest 738, no matter what the livery is. So, a really cool aircraft, and I'll be excited to hear your thoughts on this one, Ali.
This one is a very cool one. It's nothing too special. But it's just, it's so iconic at so many U.S. airports nowadays, and this livery is just, I didn't like it as much when it first came out. I really like the Canyon Blue, but I've really come around to the Heart livery, and I think it looks really good with the Scimitar winglets, and I'm a big fan of this one now. Especially, I think NG did a fantastic job with the model overall, so I think I'm gonna go 8 on this one.
I also gave it an 8. Really nice plane right there. And that is really exciting to see right there for the NG release. Lots of NGs on this list, but we should be changing up coming up here in a moment. But first and foremost, we have the Norwegian Air Shuttle Boat 787-9. This is the Freddie Mercury livery. So this is a really cool plane. You got some really good detail on this one, especially with that tail fin. I like the Freddie Mercury on there. That looks really cool. And these are really cool planes. Of course, Norwegians had quite a span, to say the least. But I think they're a pretty cool airline. This is really nice for pretty much any collector if you're looking for this aircraft. Norwegian, a low-cost carrier. I believe out of the UK, if I'm not mistaken. So pretty cool plane. I think it looks really nice. So Ali, what are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, it's a very interesting livery, to say the least. It's a little bit interesting and maybe not my most favorite way, to say the least. But I can definitely understand the appeal with Freddie Mercury on the tail. So I think I'll go 5 on this one.
5's fairly low, I would say, but I don't disagree. I can definitely see that as well. I personally gave it a 7.5, so probably not the most popular out of them all, but definitely a neat one to feature. So this is perhaps your oddball one in the release. So really good one right there, and I think that is pretty good to say the least. Excuse me, that is really nice right there. Following that, we have another very unique one. This is the Ethiopian cargo Boeing 757-200. This is another really neat plane. I think I meant to open the actual passenger one as well, but these are both on the website, so definitely check that link in the description and you'll be able to find that. But this is a really cool one as well, and they are all really good aircraft. The livery is pretty much the same, just imagine some windows here, but this is a really cool plane and really nice, especially for those retro collectors in that region. I think this is a pretty cool one. I really like this angle of that picture too. That's really helpful for NG. So really cool one. Actually, here's what the passenger one looked like. So this is a better view of it. So this is what the passenger one looked like. This is a really cool set of planes. Both these are pretty cool. That box is really unique as well. That's a very, very neat box. You don't see that every day. So pretty cool plane. I think it's quite unique. So I'll be eager to see what you have to say about it, Ali.
I really like this one. It's a very unique model. It's got a really cool retro feel to it. And I'm just a really big fan of the livery on this one. And I think I prefer the cargo version over the passenger version. Just to make it even more of an oddball model. But and I think on the 757 mold from NG, it just looks so good, and especially in that image, that like beauty shot they had.
Yes,
that you were talking about, it really looks fantastic. I think I'm gonna go 8 on this one. I like this one.
I personally gave it a 7. I was really close to bumping it up, but I don't know enough about the region to justify it. So really cool one for sure. And I think that is a fantastic pair of aircraft, to say the least. So definitely recommend checking those out if you're interested among all these other aircraft. So very nice one right there. Next line right here, we have the Isolator Boat 737 MAX 8. This is a really cool one that Gemini Jets produced. I think this one's going to be quite popular. Despite the mold being a little bit iffy, I still think this is a quite helpful aircraft, and I think it looks really good. So this is a cool looking livery, and Isolator's new livery has its controversy, I guess, to say the least. So quite an interesting aircraft, and Ali, I'll be eager to hear what you have to say about this one.
Yeah, I really don't mind the new livery from Islander. I think it's okay. I don't think it's the best livery out there right now, but I think it's okay. I think it looks... it just looks okay. I'm probably gonna go 6.5 on this one. Nothing too special for me.
I also gave it a 7. Not too bad. Not your best release, but also not the most stellar, to say the least, right there. So not bad, and a nice release right there from Gemini, to say the least. Following that, we have the Mcconnell Kc-135. This is a really helpful aircraft from Gemini. Really nice to get just a normal, plain, generic Kc-135. I think that's quite helpful. And while we have got some, it's really cool to get to see Mcconnell. I believe this is the first release. Mcconnell Air Force Base is located in Wichita, Kansas. I think this is a really cool plane. So you get quite a few various elements with this one, of course, with all the aerial features and everything. So I think it's a really cool looking aircraft and just a nice, simple one. So really cool one and a very nice military aircraft, to say the least. Ali, what do you think about this one?
I think this is a really neat one. I like the look of it. I like the minimalist styling of it. Just a very nice model, I'd say. And I like the mold on this one. I think this is a really nice aircraft overall. Probably gonna go 7.5 on this one.
I also gave it a nice aircraft right there and a really good one, to say the least. Nice job right there by Gemini Jets. Following that, we have the Qantas Airbus A380 in the 1:200 scale. This is also a really cool aircraft, just a really cool and while they've released this in the past, it's still really cool to get to see the Qantas A380 getting released, especially trying to get that back into service and everything. Cool plane for sure, and I think it is a really neat release, to say the least. While very expensive at $153, this is still a really cool plane, and I think it's a really nice one. So Ali, what do you think about this aircraft?
I mean, this model is such a behemoth. It is such a large model, honestly, 1:200 scale. It is just massive. And with that, I mean, you can really get to see the details of the model just so much more clearly. And it's really cool to see it in person. The images really don't do it justice.
Right.
For 1:200. And just because of the scale and the size of it, I think I'm going to rate it pretty highly, higher than I would the 1:400. So I'll go 8.5 on this one.
I also gave it 8.5. Nice aircraft right there, and I think that is a really good one, to say the least. Cool aircraft right there. That's awesome.
Very cool.
Next in line right here, we have the United Boeing 737-900ER. This is a really cool one from NG Models right here. I think they did a fantastic job with this aircraft. This is personally one of my favorites of the summer. I think this is a really cool aircraft, and while this livery will be going dormant at some point, I think it's going to be quite helpful to have this aircraft in the collection just because of how cool the Continental Global livery is. I think it's also a really nice one in general. So a fantastic airplane. Really like this one, and I think it is a really good one. So Ali, what do you think about the United 737-900?
Well, I really like the mold that it's on, and I think that the quality of the model is fantastic. However, the United Continental merger livery on the 739 is maybe not the most interesting one, and it's not really my personal favorite. I would prefer the Eco Skies livery on it a little bit more, but for this one, I think I'm gonna go 7. I think it's fair.
I gave it completely agreed. I gave it a cool aircraft. I think it looks good, and a nice job right there from NG as well. And then following that, I also had the Eco Skies on here. I don't think we'll rank it, but you can give it about the same score, I would say. This is still a really cool looking aircraft with the white underbelly and everything. I think this is a really good one, and I really like this. Ali, any thoughts on the Eco Skies 737?
Yeah, I like this a little bit more than the normal Continental merger livery. I like that the fuselage is all white. It gives it a lot more of a cleaner look. Looking model, I think, at least in my opinion. So I'm probably gonna go 8.5 on this one. I like this one quite a bit.
All right, and I also gave this one a 9, actually. Really good aircraft right there. I think that looks really good. Good effort right there, and a nice job by NG Models. How about that? Following that, we had the South African Airways Boeing 747 SP. This is also a fantastic airplane. I really like this one, and just delivery is really neat in general. Really cool airplane right here, and I think this is quite applicable, to say the least. Again, just a very neat livery, and I think this one looks really, really cool, especially for any retro collector interested in this aircraft. So Ali, what do you think about this one?
I really like this one. I think this is a really cool one, especially once we were able to see these, the image production versus just the computer generated image. It is such a cool model, especially with the chrome on the bottom of the fuselage. Just really is such a cool model. I think I'm gonna go, and especially for a retro collector, this is such a nice model. I think I'm gonna go 8 on this one. I also
went 8. Nice aircraft right there, and that is a really cool one, to say the least. Good job right there by NG Models. Following that, we have the Delta Airlines Boeing 757-200. Oh boy, this is a really cool aircraft. Was super pleased with this one, and we've been begging NG to do this one for quite some time now. So I'm really excited that they finally chose to do it. And man, it came out super nicely with the Wi-Fi boxes, 2 pairs of them, or just a pair of them, that is, but 2 in total. Then you got all the antennas and just the wings. It's just such a nice casting on this mold. And I think it looks really nice. So Ali, what do you think about this Delta 752?
This is such a long view model. It is such a nice model. Quality is fantastic. The realism, the details, fantastic. The mold is fantastic. Everything's fantastic with this one. I have no complaints about it. And obviously, I mean, the current Delta livery on the 757-200 is just such an iconic aircraft, and it's just so cool. And this one has been really popular since it came out for good reason. I think I'm gonna go 9.5 on this one.
I also went 9.5. I thought you were about to say 9, but a really popular model right here. And this one's going to be quite helpful for quite a long time to come. So great job for NG McDonald's for knocking that out. That's really nice right there. Very nice. Following that, we have the Delta Airlines Airbus A321neo. Panda Models also made a really good version of this. So these are both a really good aircraft, and I would highly recommend them. But just another really nice aircraft. I personally think the Delta A321neo looks really cool. I think it's a really nice aircraft overall. You got some really good aerials and details on this one. And this will be really cool, especially for your continental routes in the United States. So a really cool livery, and I think this one came out quite nice. So Ali, what are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, kind of similar to the 757. It's a great mold. It's a great printing quality, great realism on the model. Overall, just a fantastic model in my opinion. And this is really a must-have for any Delta collector. Especially one that collects modern Delta models, and for anyone that has a decent sized model airport, once again, especially one that utilizes a lot of Delta aircraft, this is kind of a must-have. Just a really neat model overall. I think I'm going to go 8 on this one.
Very nice. I gave it an 8.5. This is a really cool aircraft and a very nice one. And also, feel free to let us know in the comment section how you guys think about our rating system and everything. We're definitely looking to make adjustments, but we just thought we'd keep it simple for today's video and a really cool system in general. So very excited about that, and that is absolutely awesome right there. Following that, we have the
Let us know if you guys have any of these models as well. We'd love to hear what you guys think about them as well.
Yes, they are super nice and really, really good ones. So I highly recommend going to pick those up. Link in the description if you're looking to, and a really nice one. Speaking of which, following that, we have the TWA Transworld Airlines L1011-1 from NG Models. This is a really cool aircraft with those twin globes. I think this is a really cool looking aircraft from the red stripes to the gray underbelly and everything. This is ultimately a fantastic looking plane. I just really like all the details that this one encompasses. I love this aircraft. It is so nice in its detail. Really nice for any retro collector. And this is definitely a very popular aircraft to say the least. A really cool one right there. Ali, what are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with this. This is a beautiful model. Perfect for any retro collector. And I really like the chrome on the bottom. Really gives it a nice look. And just overall, just a really nice aircraft. Great mold. I think I'm going to go 7.5 on this one. I like this one.
I gave it a 9. Really nice aircraft right there. And that's quite a helpful one to say the very least. Following that, we had the Emirates Boeing 777-300ER. This is a fantastic aircraft. Gemini Jets finally getting to use that JC wing mold on this aircraft, and that is really what made this model so good. We normally would not put an Emirates plane on this because, there's way too many Emirates planes in the 1-to-1 scale, but it is so exciting to see finally a good mold with a normal 777-300. This has been something that many people have been waiting for quite some time now, and I'm really glad that Gemini Jets was finally able to knock this out. Finally, after so much trying, I guess I wouldn't even call it trying, but after so many attempts, they finally knocked it out. So a really nice one. And Ali, what do you think about this one?
I mean, it's just such an iconic look. The Emirates on livery on the 333, just so beautiful. I know a lot of people prefer, but their favorite, how do I say this? The most iconic Emirates setup to them is, the Emirates livery on the A380. For me, obviously, I like the look of that as well. But I prefer the Emirates livery on the 333. It's just a cleaner look to me, and I think it's such a beautiful aircraft. Really, really cool model. Great mold. Overall, just fantastic job by Gemini Jets on this one. I'm going to go 9 on this one.
I also went 9. Fantastic plane. Really good job from Gemini Jets on that one. Following that, we have the Frontier Airlines CV580 Convair. This is a really cool aircraft. I really like this one. This is one of my first retro planes, like really far retro planes that I got. And it's just a really cool one. It really cranks it back and it's just such a cool plane. The livery, just the whole plane speaks for itself on what the time frame was, obviously back there in the 60s. And a really cool plane, a very unique one at that, and just ultimately a fantastic aircraft. Ali, what do you think about this aircraft?
It's a really neat retro model, honestly. Just not too much to say about this one. It's not anything too crazy, but just a nice, clean, simple look on this Convair aircraft, and yeah, it's a good one. We're going to go 7 on this one. It's a good one. It's a nice model.
I gave it an 8. Fantastic aircraft, and a really good one to say the least. We also wanted to feature the Delta TriStars. Unfortunately, they sold out, but they're really cool aircraft. You had that one, and then also a normal one with a sticker, which was really cool. I thought they were really cool aircrafts, and they looked really good. Sorry that I don't have any pictures up on the screen for you guys, but I think they looked really good, and they were fantastic planes. Personally, I'm going to give those a 9 as well. Even though NG's released them multiple times, I think they are a really nice aircraft and really helpful to get the 250 variant, I believe it was this time around. So, Ali, what do you think about those Delta TriStars?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go 9 as well. They're really, really nice. I don't know what they're fetching now on the secondhand market, or if there are any other retailers that still have them. We sold out of them very fast. So I imagine, that the pricing on eBay right now may be kind of high for them. They've sold out with the other retailers as well. But I highly recommend them if you can get your hands on them. They're super, super nice. Especially the, I believe it was the We the People, the 1776 one. Really, really cool. Just such a cool model. Highly recommend it.
And then from there, we're cranking it up to the larger scale. Here's the 1-200 American Airlines L-188 Electra. This is a really cool aircraft in the Astrojet livery. I personally think this aircraft turned out really well. Gemini Jets surprisingly did a really good job casting this aircraft. It's been a long time since they've used the Electra mold in the 200 scale, I believe, outside that Eastern. So this is a really cool release for the 200 scale, and I think this is quite a nice aircraft. So Ali, what are you thinking about this 1-200 retro bird?
Yeah, I like this one, especially in 1-200. You really get to see the details more, especially if you look at the props. I mean, it's just like a really, really cool model, and a very iconic livery, of course. You gotta love that old retro American livery. I like this one a lot. I think I'm gonna go 8.5 on this one.
I gave it an 8. Really nice aircraft, and that is quite helpful to say the least right there. Following that, we have the Braniff Boeing 727-200 and the Braniff 2 Reebok livery. So Braniff has quite a rich history, and this is a prime example of it as well. I personally think this is a really cool aircraft. Braniff's a really fascinating airline in my opinion, and they've had quite a rich history. So really cool to get to see Gemini Jets encompassing all those details. I think they did a really good job with this 1-200 variation. So a really cool aircraft. And Ali, what do you think about another retro aircraft in 200 scale here?
I don't know if I like this one more than the American, but it is a really, really cool one. Nice throwback, and especially for anyone that flew on one of these or got to see these when they were flying. It's a really cool model. Obviously, everyone loves this. Well, I love the 727 aircraft, of course, and always nice to see any 727 models. I'm sure Connor, you probably feel the same way. So,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Just because it's a 727, I'm going to go 8 on this one.
I gave it a 9. Really cool plane, and Gemini Jets did a fantastic job on that one. Following that, we have the 1-200 U.S. Air Force Kc-135 Main Air National Guard. This is a really neat plane, just a really unique one in general, and I think that Gemini Jets did a really good job. The tail especially really speaks for what Maine is with all the trees and everything. I think this is a really cool plane, and just a very unique one for the 200 scale, really getting those details encompassed. I think this is quite helpful. So, Ellie, what are you thinking about this military plane in the 200 scale?
Yeah, I really like this one. I love the look of the tree on the tail. It really gives it a nice image, and it really gives it that Maine vibe to it. And just a really cool model overall. And especially in 1-200, you really get to see the details more in this one. Just super cool. I'm going to go 8.5 on this one.
I gave it a 7.5. Really cool plane, and I think they did a really good job with this one. Nice job there by Gemini. Finally, cranking it back, this is a really cool model. So here we have the 1-400 Copa Airlines Boeing 737-800. This is the Bomoso, hopefully I said that kind of right, livery with the El Avador Models exclusive. So El Avador Models make some really cool exclusive models. This is one of them included. And I think this one turned out quite well. So really happy with that livery, and I think it looks really good. So this is a very unique aircraft, kind of a little bit of an oddball, if you will. I think this one turned out quite well. So Ali, what do you think about this aircraft?
I think it's a really cool model. I love the special livery on it. Unfortunately, I don't know what the reasoning is for the special livery. I'm not entirely sure, but regardless, it looks really cool on the Copa livery. Highly recommend this model. Elevidor makes fantastic models. They specialize in Latin American models, and I believe that this one was manufactured on the Panda mold, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So, I mean, it looks fantastic. I'm pretty sure it is a Panda mold. So, you know, the model itself is fantastic in terms of the mold and printing quality. Overall, I think I'm going to go 8.5 on this one. I like this one a lot. Really, really nice one for any Latin American collectors.
I gave it a 7. Another fantastic plane, you know, really nice job right there by El Abdor Models this time around. Following that, we have a really cool one. This is United Airlines Boeing 737-800, the Star Wars livery. This one speaks for itself. I mean, you can just take a look at these pictures and you can't tell me this is not one of the coolest planes ever produced in the 1:4 scale. Come on now. This is such a cool plane. Go get your hands on this one if you haven't already. This plane speaks for itself, and even if you're not a Star Wars fan like myself, this is just so cool. It is unbelievable that NG Models chose to make this really cool plane. I'm not even gonna let Ali have a decision on thinking about this without my rating coming out. Give me a 10 on this one. What a fantastic plane. That is a fantastic one to say the least right there. That is really good.
Yeah, we're thinking the same thing. I immediately thought 10 as soon as I saw this one. I am not a big Star Wars fan, truthfully. But I mean, when you see this model, I mean, even in the images you can tell, but when you see it in person, I mean, this model, the printing quality on it, I mean, you can see zooming up on it. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how far we've come in 1:400. I mean, it's just, there's nothing like it. This is just, I mean, unbelievable, really, is the best way to put it. The printing quality, and I mean, I'm speechless. It is such a nice model. If you don't have this one, I highly recommend pick it up before it sells out everywhere, because I bet you, and not too much longer from now, this model on eBay is going to be fetching some good money.
To say the least, that is a really nice aircraft right there. Nice job by NG. But we know we have another really cool one. There's 3 of these on the website, so feel free to check them out. But we have the Am Bowie 747 SPs. This is the Clipper Liberty Bell aircraft. I think these are really cool planes. It's really nice to get more Pan Am aircraft. I remember we gave one of these away in the giveaway. Man, this is just such a stunning aircraft. Just take a look at all these applicable details. This is a fantastic looking plane, and I really like all the details on this one. Just look at all those boxes, man. I just love the effort from NG. I know Gemini has their just standard and typical stuff, but this is just so cool in my opinion. Really adds some character to the aircraft. So Ali, what do you think about these beautiful 747 SPs from Pan Am?
I mean, Pan Am is just so iconic. I mean, especially back in its heyday in the golden era of Pan Am. Just so cool. I really like the one all the way on the left. Forgive me, I am not the most knowledgeable about.
You're good. This is the big board title, is what they refer to.
Is that what it's called, the billboard?
Sure. Something along those lines. Clipper Young America, I think, is the proper name, but big board titles, I think, is also referenced.
I think that one is going to be my favorite of the 3. In fact, I'll just rate them
clean.
all.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I think I'll go 9 on the billboard. On the center one, the Clipper New Horizon, probably going to go 8, and the Clipper Liberty Bell, I'm going to go 7.5.
Really nice aircraft. I think they all look fantastic. So I'm going to give these all a 8.5 across the board. This is a really good release right here, and just another fantastic one. And the cool thing with NG2, making 3 of these really helps, and there are only some slim differences. So if you do somehow miss out on the one that you really want, you can probably get something comparable. So really cool aircraft right there, and I think that is quite helpful for NG. So fantastic release right there with the Pan Am 747 SP. That is really nice right there. Following that, we have another really cool plane. This is the Qatar Airways Boeing 777-300ER in the One World livery. Really cool to get this aircraft. This one has been super rare over the years, so I'm really glad NG chose to release this. And quite frankly, this is one of the best looking planes out there. I think this one turned out super well. You also got the all-white hybrid livery that's also there, which is really good. So this is a fantastic one. I think this is a really good one from NG right here. Ali, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I like it. I would prefer it in the normal livery instead of the hybrid white fuselage livery. But overall, I mean, it's still a really cool model. I think I'm going to go 8 on this one. The model, really? The mold itself, the details are fantastic.
Yes, it is a fantastic mold aircraft. Expecting normal livery in our upcoming fall 2022 video. That will definitely make the list. But this one's also really cool and it's definitely worth mentioning in my opinion. So I gave it an 8.5. Fantastic plane. And that one looks really good to say the least right there. Following that, next up we have the TWA Boeing 747 SP, the Boston Express livery. The normal livery also got released, but it sold out just like that. So if you want one still, the Boston Express is pretty similar, and it quite frankly looks really good in my opinion. Don't even have the sticker on this side, so that's pretty rare. You only have it on the left side, so that's still really cool. So this is a really cool plane. I think it turned out quite well, and I think they did a really good job on this aircraft. So another really good one. Natalie, what are you thinking about this aircraft?
I like this one. I don't know if I like it more than Pan Am's, but it's a really cool model. Really, really neat livery. I love the look of the 747 SP. I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go 7 on this one. I'm gonna go 7, solid 7.
I gave it an 8.5. Very cool plane. I'm really glad to see them releasing that right there. Following that with the British Airways Boeing 777-200ER in the Chelsea Rose livery. This is another really neat plane. Of course, with Project, I think it was Bluetopia. I think that's what they called this. Could be wrong on that. Utopia, I think that's what it was. I'm forgetting all the names, but nevertheless, this is a really cool project to promote different regions around the world. I think they did a really good job doing that, and it made for some really nice liveries. So, Ali, what do you think about this beautiful 777 right here?
Really like it. I love the Chelsea Rose livery. I think it probably is my favorite among the Project Utopia tails. Just a super neat one. Looks really good on the 222. The model itself, the mold, everything, printing quality, fantastic. If you're a British Airways fan, highly recommend this one. You gotta get it. It's such a nice model. So, did I rate it yet? I think I forgot.
No, you did not rate it. That's where I was confused. You're good.
Yeah, I think I'll go 8.5 on this one.
Really nice. I would have 8 on this aircraft. It's a really good one. Also really cool how they have the normal 777. That's another high score. And also they compared it to the 757. So that's quite nice. And I think they did a really good job on that one right there. We also have 3 April releases that we thought would be cool to throw in for this very first video. And if you made it to the end, you probably don't mind me being in here. So we threw in 3 really cool ones for the US, beginning with the Missouri one for Southwest Airlines and the 737-700. This is a really cool aircraft. It really speaks for itself. And I think this is a really good one. So Ali, what are you thinking about this one?
Nice one. Really fits the 700 aircraft well. Like I said, I really like the 737-700 look, and especially the mold NG has for the 700. It's a nice model. It's a modern Southwest, so I'm going to go 8 on this one. I like this one.
I gave it a 9. Another really cool plane. I really like the livery. Very unique to say the least. Delta's Boeing 737-700 makes the list right here from NG Models. This is another really cool aircraft. I think they did a really good job on this one, and a very unique one. Wish these were still flying, but still a really cool one to represent the period. So, Ali, what are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, sad they retired them. Like I said, really like the 737-700. I really think that the Delta livery fits the aircraft very well. I think I'm going to go 9 on this one. I really like this one.
I went at 8. Very cool aircraft, and another really nice one to say the least right there. Our final aircraft of the list is the United Airlines Boeing 777-200ER in the Star Alliance livery. This is a really cool one, and I'm very glad to get to see this one make the list. One of my favorites, and ultimately a fantastic aircraft right here from NG Models. Fortunate enough to get to see this aircraft as well. This is a really cool one. I think they did a really good job on this one. I believe this is also the first non-fantasy 777 they ever made, like the first real 777 they made. So this is a really cool plane and a very special one for that reason. So Ali, what do you think about the Star Alliance 777 right here?
I think it's a really nice look. It's a very nice, sleek, clean, minimalist look to it. Great model. I think I'm going to go 8.5 on this one.
I gave it a 9. Another fantastic aircraft and a really good one to round out our release right here. Alrighty, everybody. So here we go with the top 5 planes that we came up with between the both of us on the rating scale. We have some really cool ones throughout here. So what we're going to do is go through all of these aircraft, and then together we're going to re-rank them and see what the best model definitively was of the summer of 2022. So we're going to start right here with the latest release date, and we can go up to the earliest. So we're going to start right here with the Delta Airlines L1011 in the We the People livery, or just both of them in general. I thought this was a really cool one and a fantastic plane to say the least. So that definitely made the list. A really cool one right there. Ali, any thoughts on this one once again?
This is a really cool model. I'm excited to see how it's going to do in the top 5. Let's go see what the other ones are.
Yes, following that, we have the Delta 757-200. Again, a fantastic plane. Just taking a look at it again. It is a really nice one. Really glad to get to see this one right here. And feel free to add any thoughts in as we go throughout these, Ali. Feel free. Really nice. And then let me see if I can get this taskbar moved. I'm sorry, it kind of glitched out on me. Let me see if I can get this to... There we go. I was able to move it. And then following that, we have the Emirates Boeing 777-300 making the list. Again, a fantastic mullet, a really nice one right here. So glad that that made the list right there. It's really nice. And then following that, we have the United Star Wars Boeing 737-800. We knew this one was definitely going to be in the list. That's really cool to get to see right there. And then following that, we have the Pan Am Boeing 747 SP. Again, another fantastic looking plane. And we're really excited that this one made the list. So, Ali, do we want to start going through and rating these? I think we'll start back with that Delta. I think this is a pretty good one. I think it's kind of the middle of the tier road, probably somewhere in the third place position. So not too low, but not too high here. It's a really good model. And I think this is pretty nice. So what are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, I really like this one, although I'm not sure that I'm gonna push for it to be the number one model of summer 2020.
Not quite.
I would agree. It's probably not number 5. It's probably somewhere in the middle. So we'll kind of leave this one as to be determined.
Okay, sounds like a plan. This Delta 757 is pretty good. It is really popular. It's been a staple of the fleet for many years, and NG Models just absolutely killed the model. They did a fantastic job. I'm personally thinking that this one needs to be number 2. I think this is a really good aircraft.
Yeah, I kind of want to go through them like one more time before I decide, but
okay, cool.
Maybe number 2. I may go with you with number 2.
Okay. The Emirates 333, I also feel like is really good. I'm thinking probably 4 or 5 on this one. This one's quite helpful to say the least, but it is just an Emirates plane, but it is on a really good mold. They did a really good job with it. So, but there is a little bit of wing flex on some of these iterations. So, but I think probably the 4 or 5 slots probably appropriate for this one. United, I think that's going to have to be towards the top of the list, if not number 1. I think this one is quite good to say the least. This one is fantastic right here. And lastly, this Pan Am, I think this one's probably a 4 or 5 as well. Still a really nice aircraft, but I think somewhere in the back position right there is pretty good. So Ali, what are you thinking about these positions?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on most of these. I think I'm ready to go and put the Pan Am at number 5.
I agree.
If you're feeling the same way.
So 5's going to be on the left for us guys, by the way. So this is 5. So Pan Am has made the 5th spot.
Yep. Definitely still a really nice model, but I think of these, I think the other ones are a stronger contender for the best model in the summer 2022.
Really good one right here, though.
I think next is probably going to be either the Delta L1011 or the Emirates 333. What are you thinking, Connor? I'm not sure.
Yeah, so this is a really good one, but just with the quality and the little bit of etched in detail that the Delta TriStar brings, and maybe just a little bit more popularity for us US collectors, but I think just that little bit of etched in detail, I think has to put the Delta at 3. What do you think about that with the Emirates at 4?
Yeah, and I think especially since it's the We the People one, I really like that sticker they put up on the front.
So Emirates taking the 4, and Delta's going to take the 3 right here. That's really nice. Delta's really, second position, really good, but I don't think it's quite a 1. I think it's a 2 in this case because of what's.
I think it's very close. It's very close. And in a normal
season, this would be 1.
Probably number 1.
Really
but
good.
Because
plane.
That's Star Wars. Yeah, I think that Star Wars is definitely number 1.
That's your number 1, everybody. The United 737-800 in Star Wars livery. I mean, that's just an awesome plane. We both agree that that was one of the best releases out there. Fantastic model. They did such a good job. And man, it is so awesome to get to see that in the number 1 position. Really cool. And another great list. Number 5 is Pan Am. Number 4 is Emirates. And then get into the podium rankings. We got number 3 at Delta. Number 2 at also this Delta 757 in the L1011. Number 1 is the United Star Wars livery. Man, that is awesome right there. That's super nice.
Yeah, just an excellent model. Highly recommend you guys pick up.
Link in the description.
Yeah, but especially the Star Wars one. I mean, that model, you cannot miss out on that model. It is unbelievable.
Really, really good stuff right there. And I believe that will conclude today's video. So this was really cool to get an experiment with. I'm really excited to do more of these. And let us know what you guys think. We're definitely open to changing up our scoring system and whatnot, talking about some different things throughout the video and everything. But we thought this would be really fun to help you guys find some of the best models. And I'd highly recommend getting them over here on the Midwest Model Store with the link in the description, especially with this quantity. It's really cool. Like the only one of the top 5 that wasn't in stock is the Delta, which is so cool. So I'd highly recommend going to check these out because again, these are fantastic aircraft and they are really good one. And all the ones we mentioned throughout this video should still be in stock. So definitely go check these out. And these are fantastic planes. The Midwest Model Store does an excellent job and a really good job at that. Really pleased with their efforts. They do absolutely fantastic job. So Ali, is there anything that you'd like to finish with, add into this list, or anything that you'd like to go off of for today's video?
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Connor. Definitely recommend checking these out. And if you're interested in them, I would pick them up sooner rather than later, because not too much longer from now, if you're gonna want one of these models, especially one of the ones in the top 5,
They're gonna get
on eBay.
Oh, I was saying they're gonna go. The models are. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, the models are just gonna skyrocket in value.
Yes.
They're just gonna go for so much money, and you're just gonna wish that you paid retail for them. And you'd be the first person on it. You get a brand new model rather than a secondhand model, right?
Fantastic release right here. Really, really nice set. And just ultimately a fantastic addition of planes right here for the 1-400 and the 1-200 sector as well. So feel free once again to give us any thoughts that you guys have on today's video, but really glad we were able to make this for you guys. We really hope you guys enjoyed it. We're super excited for what's to come. Really hope you guys enjoyed this, and that will do for today's video, everybody. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.